Hello everyone, I'm Angela with Happy Little Stitch Shop, and today I am with you again to tackle our next month of our vintage Christmas quilt along. I am so excited to be making these little blocks with you. They are so adorable and they're fun to put together, and I hope you're having fun too. So this is the quilt we're doing. We're doing the Vintage Christmas Sampler Quilt by Lori Holt of Bee in My Bonnet. And all of this quilt is using the Cozy Christmas Fabric Collection by Lori Holt. And I'm working on more kits, so just sit tight. I hope to be in touch with you soon. And last month, let me show you what we made last month. Last month we made our little reindeer. And we made our ice skate. I have not put my embroidery on these yet. Shame on me, I should be doing it as I go. We made this cute little block. We made the bell. And we made another cute star block. So I am loving it. And now we are ready to tackle the next batch of blocks in this quilt. I think we've already made 15. I think we're on our way to 20. And so after this month, you are going to be halfway there. Almost halfway there. I think there are 42 blocks total, but we'll call it halfway. So let's take a peek. The block that we're going to be making first for this month is on page 37 of the Vintage Christmas book. So we skipped this one last month because we didn't have the fabric for it. You should have the fabric for it now. So we're going to go back and we're going to do that one now. It is called the Glimmer block and it's on page 37 of your Vintage Christmas book. And here are the fabrics you need. You're going to need your white, your Riley white for the background, navy blue Christmas lights, green ivy, blue reindeer, pink snowman, and yellow gift wrap. So go ahead and cut up all of the pieces that you need for this one. And go ahead and piece this one together, and be sure to stick with me because I have a little surprise for you, not with you. You don't know anything about it, but I have a surprise for you. At the end of this, I have a little surprise. So please stick with me through the end because I'm anxious to surprise you and share with you what I've been working on. So go make your glimmer block and then let's come back here and I'll share mine with you when I'm all done. Did you make your glimmer block? Here's mine. I love those little blue reindeer. I have to iron the corner of mine. It's a little wrinkly. But here's my glimmer block. It's super cute and so small. Oh my gosh. But these 6.5-inch blocks are so darling too. I think they're really cute to make. And the snowmen on this one were really cute. So I didn't have any problems. My middle square did not line up. I guess I did have a problem. My middle square didn't line up great. But I decided to leave it due to lack of time. And hopefully once it's in the quilt and quilted, I will never notice it. So just be sure that as you go through to make this, you're lining, like this lined up really good, but this is off and this is off. This side's not so bad. So just make sure your blue lines up as you piece it together. And maybe you'll have better luck than I did. So that was my glimmer block. And now we are ready to move on to the little white chapel. And this block is on page 53 of your Vintage Christmas book. And let's go ahead and take a peek at the fabrics that you need. So first up for the background, you're going to need your mint green. Then you're going to need your white sparkle for the church. Your yellow wrapping paper for the stained glass windows. It's so cute. And your pink deer for your doorway. And this diamond, pink and yellow diamond fabric for the area around the door. And then your roof and your steps will be the brown, I think this is cinnamon, the brown cinnamon color. So you can go ahead and go to page 53 of your Vintage Christmas book and have fun piecing your little white chapel together. And I'll be back with you in a little bit. How did your chapel come together? The whole time were you singing, going to the chapel and we're gonna get married? I wasn't, but I just thought about it right now. So now, if you haven't made your block, hopefully that'll be going through your mind as you're making it. So here is my little white chapel. My Mary chapel, I can't remember what it's called in the book. But considering all of the pieces that were involved here, I was really happy with how this one came together. I'm not always that lucky, but this time it worked out. Like, it even worked out that there's a deer in the doorway. And that doesn't always happen for me. Sometimes I try to piece things and get, you know, prints from the fabric to be visible, and I end up getting like just plain old fabric. Like there's nothing on it. And this time, instead of it just being plain pink fabric, you can see a deer in the doorway. So I'm pretty happy about that. So this is my chapel, and I hope you had fun making it. And now we are gonna move on to the Mary mug block. My husband was like, it's a teacup. I said, it's a mug. He said, it looks like a teacup. I said, but it's a mug. So it's a Mary mug. And it's on page 57 of your Vintage Christmas book. And here are the fabrics you need to make this mug, not teacup. You need the white, the Riley white. You need the mint. You need the red Christmas lights, the mint with the pink and red dots, and then pink candy canes. So have fun making your Mary mug, not teacup, and I will see you back here in a little bit to share mine with you. I made my Mary mug, not teacup, and I hope you guys had fun making it too. Did it make you think of having a cup of hot chocolate? Here is my Mary mug. It turned out pretty good, and my star even lined up. I've been doing a lot of chain piecing during this one, so that has been helpful to kind of make things go a little bit faster anytime that I can. I try to chain piece some of these pieces together, so that's good. Went a little bit faster than normal, and I think that it's pretty cute. So that is my Mary mug. And now we are ready to move on to the mistletoe block, which is on page 59 of the Vintage Christmas book. And here are the fabrics you need for that one. First up, you need the Riley white. You're gonna need this kind of teal and mint circle design, your yellow gift wrap or sparkle, your pink hollyberry, what is this called? Is it ivy? Is it holly? I don't know. And then your pink and red check fabric. So go ahead and start cutting up and making your mistletoe block, and good luck along the way. Hopefully it all comes together smoothly for you, and I will be back with you in a bit. How did your mistletoe block come together? Mine came together pretty well. I think that it's pretty cute, especially in this smaller size. You know, it's a lot of color. I like it. It's colorful, it's bright, it's happy. It's really cute. Mine came together pretty well. Like, I think it lined up fairly well. Like, I'm happy with it. I can see some parts that aren't perfect, but that's okay. I'm okay with it. Overall, I think it looks good overall. So the mistletoe block is done. Now we are ready to move on to the next one, and my daughter is so anxious for me to make this one. When are you gonna make the mittens? She keeps saying. So this next one is the mitten block, and it is on page 61 in your Vintage Christmas book. And let's take a peek at the fabrics you need. First up is the Riley white. Next up is the navy blue Christmas lights. Then we have the green holly. Then we have the red recipe and the yellow and blue dot and the blue sparkle or wrapping paper and the pink candy canes. So you're gonna have lots of fun making this mitten block. It is so adorable, and all of these pictures just make me feel warm and cozy like you would feel at Christmas time. So I hope that you are having fun making these. Go ahead and cut up the pieces for your mitten block and have fun piecing it together. I'll be back with you in a little bit. Did you have fun making your mitten block? Mine came together pretty well. Here it is. Look at that scrappy heart. It's so cute. For a hot second, I thought that I had put the heart upside down on the mitten, but this is correct. This is the right way. And my daughter loved it. She came in when I was making it. She said, "Are you making the mitten block with the heart? It's so cute." So it just gives me lots of warm and cozy Christmas feelings, making all of these blocks. Christmas in the middle of a really hot and humid summer. But this was a fun block to put together. I think it's darling. And hopefully I'm gonna stitch this teeny tiny pillow pretty soon if I keep going with my teeny tiny pillow stitching. So that is the last block for this month. The mitten block is our last one for the 5 blocks that we're doing this month. Next month we will tackle another 5 or 6. One of these months we're gonna have to do 6, so we'll have to see how that goes. Are you ready for my surprise? Here is my surprise. There were a few people who joined in this sew along, but they were kind of not having a lot of fun with the 6.5-inch blocks. And so they decided to try to make a 12-inch block quilt instead. And so me, never wanting any of my happy little stitchers out there to be unhappy, I said, "Do you want me to make them with you?" And she was like, "Oh my goodness, would you?" And so guess what? I've made a couple 12-inch blocks this month to join in the 12-inch fun. So I am going to make a second quilt, a second vintage quilt, following the layout on page 168. Yeah, on page 168 in the Vintage Christmas book. So it calls for 25 different 12-inch squares. So as I go through and I make the 6.5-inch square, I'm just gonna pick my favorites that I like from all of the 42 blocks and make 25 of my favorites. So the Christmas tree was one of my favorites, so I made the Christmas tree block. It is funny how different they look in the 12-inch size versus the 6-inch size. So here's my Christmas tree. And then I couldn't resist making this one. This is one of my favorite blocks from this book. And I think it's so much fun. Although I will say it doesn't feel as scrappy in the bigger size, I think. So my husband and I were having that conversation like, there's a lot more white in the bigger size. I still love it. But it definitely looks different in the 12-inch versus the 6-inch or the 6-inch versus the 12-inch. So here are my 2 12-inch blocks for this month. And I will hope and try to continue to add some 12-inch blocks here and there so that those of you who are quilting the 12-inch blocks feel like, you know, I'm there quilting it with you. I'm making the 12-inch blocks with you. So I hope you have fun, and I'm excited to see which 12-inch blocks you guys choose. Because I'm just going to pick, I'm not necessarily going to follow the ones that were picked in the book. I'm just going to pick my favorites and make those as I go. So I'm anxious to see what you guys pick too. So that is our Vintage Christmas quilt along for this month. I hope you guys have fun making these blocks. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope that you will comment below and let me know how it's going. I haven't seen a lot of comments the last couple months, so I would love to hear from you and hear how your Vintage Christmas quilt along is going. So please, please comment below and let me know how it's going. What blocks are your favorites? You know, what are you thinking? How are you enjoying it? And then also be sure to use hashtag Happy Little Stitch Shop and share all of your progress with your Vintage Christmas quilt, because I know I would love to see it. And I know other people who are quilting with us or who are just part of our community and watching as we quilt this would love to see your progress too. So be sure you use hashtag Happy Little Stitch Shop. Please be sure that you subscribe to our Happy Little Stitch Shop YouTube channel. Also, you can follow Happy Little Stitch Shop on Instagram and Facebook. And you can join our Happy Little Stitchers Facebook group. And of course, please visit happylittlestitchshop.com for all of your cross-stitch and quilting goodies. As you know, if you have been following me, we are buried right now in bolts and bolts of fabric. And so we have tons of options here for you to be able to shop and pick to your heart's content of the fabric that you want for your next project. So we hope that you will visit us. Thank you so much for joining me today. Have a wonderful, wonderful month, and I will be back with you on the 25th of July for our next Vintage Christmas Quilt Along installment. Have a great day, everybody. Take care. Happy stitching.